Hey mobility gurus, it's Mike here with 5-Minute Mobility. I know it's been a long time since you guys have seen a video from me, and from my previous Android Zero-Touch video, I promised you I'd walk you through the portal, and that's exactly what I'm going to do for you today. I'm going to show you how to get started with Android Zero-Touch, and then we'll dive into the portal. I'll walk you through configurations and how to create a DPC, essentially an MDM server, and then we'll look at the devices and how do we align those to our DPCs, and then we'll look at the users and the administration around there, and then finally I'll show you how to add a reseller like CDW to your portal so that reseller can start enrolling your devices for you inside your Android Zero-Touch portal. So let's get started. So the first thing that we want to do before we even create our Android Zero-Touch portal is make sure that we have an email account that's associated with a Google account. To do that, you're going to go to accounts.google.com. I'll link below this site in the show notes, and you want to fill this out. So it can be an existing domain email that you have. It doesn't have to be an @Google or @Gmail account. We can take our own corporate domain account, and we're just going to go through this process and essentially associate our email with that. So you fill all this out, you'll hit next, it'll ask you to create a password for that account and so forth. Once you have that email account associated with a Google account, send that email over to your reseller. A reseller has to create the portal for you. You as an end user cannot create an Android Zero-Touch portal. It's a fairly easy process. It usually only takes a couple minutes. Once that reseller creates that portal, you receive an email from Google saying, hey, it's ready. Log into that account with your username and password, accept the terms and services, and you're off to the races. The URL to access your portal is partner.android.com/zero-touch. Once you've got access to that site, it'll look something like this. On the left-hand side here, you've got your configurations, devices, users, and resellers. It's a pretty simple site. Not much stuff going on here, so let's just walk from the top all the way down. So configurations, this is where you create your DPC, or essentially your MDM server. You can create as many MDM servers as you want. It's pretty simple to create. You hit this plus icon over here, and then give your configuration give your configuration a name, whether that's Workspace ONE, MOS 360, Mobile Iron, however you want to name that. And then you select your EMM or your DPC configuration. So approved Android Zero-Touch MDM DPCs are all going to be in here. So it's just a searching game at this point. I will say if you're looking for like a Workspace ONE, it's actually going to be called Intelligent Hub. That's what Workspace ONE's MDM configuration is in here. So just look around here until you find your MDM's DPC here. Once you find that, you'll add your DPCs extra. This is really a script that includes essential things like your server URL, group ID, username and password. You can populate that however you want. Actually, the best resource I have for you is from a really awesome guy out in the UK, I believe. His name is Jason Bayton. If you guys haven't seen his site, just go over there. It's a really great resource. I'll link this specific site in the show notes. But this is a respiratory Jason made of all the different DPCs here. So just read through here. You got stuff for Mobile Iron, AirWatch, also known as Workspace ONE, SODI, MOS 360. So a lot of DPCs are here, so you don't have to go and hunt them, or you can always go to your MDM site and try to find these DPCs as well. But this is just a good resource to have right here, and it keeps everything pretty updated. Once you're done with that, just give it a name, put in that support email address and phone number. Those do show up as part of the enrollment process, and then any custom messages that you want to put as part of the enrollment. One of the things that I'll point out here is we can have as many configurations as we need here. You see I've got MOS 360 as well as VMware's Workspace ONE configurations here. You can have as many as you need. You know, multiple AirWatch configurations, maybe we're using multiple staging users, whatever that may be, you can create as many as you need here. So you can get real flexible and granular with that if you need to. One really important thing I'll point out here is this ID number. When you're working with your reseller will enroll your devices into either a default DPC, or you can tell your reseller, please toss all these devices into this specific DPC, and this is the ID they're going to need. I'll actually show you the Excel file that we typically use, as well as you can use if you want to do it yourself and send over to your reseller. So let's hop down to devices. With the devices, you can search for any of your devices by IMEI, MEID, serial number, and they'll all show up here. And then you can also, if we need to change the configuration on a fly for devices, we can do that as well. So all your DPC configurations will show up here that you can easily just switch whatever DPC configuration they need to be tossed into. An important factor there is if they're already enrolled in Android Zero-Touch and have gone through that enrollment process, process and we're gonna switch to DPC, you're gonna have to factory reset that device so it retakes it again. As well as we can deregister. So say we tossed one here by accident, or we're just not gonna use this device anymore, we can then deregister it, and that can be used elsewhere, given to as a personal device, gifted, however you wanna do that. Additionally, on this on the hamburger icon over here, we can download all our devices as a CSV file. So let's dive into users. This is your administration. So when your reseller creates that portal, they're going to use that Google associated email account that we talked about earlier in the video. Additionally, when that reseller is creating that portal, they can add additional admins to that account, as well as you can come in here and add as many admins and owners to your account as well. What are the differences between an owner and an admin? An owner has privileges over everything and can create additional users. An admin has the same ownership as far as being able to do everything on the portal. They just can't create additional users on the portal. So you can have as many admins as you need here. I don't have it here, but over here where my mouse is, there would be a little plus button that you would be able to add additional admins or owners or whatever that may be. One thing I will point out here is when your reseller is creating your portal, a reseller can add themselves as an admin if you like. They don't have to. One of the advantages of having one of your trusted resellers as an admin on your portal, it gives an ability to look at your configurations like your DPCs and help you troubleshoot things on your portal. You don't have to have your reseller as an admin on your portal. They would show up here if they were, and you can easily remove them. But when they are creating that portal, you can tell them, hey, please add yourself as an admin or don't. You can kind of see here on my portal, Zero-Touch at cdw.com. I've already added CDW as my admin, so they can see my DPC configures and such. If they're not on here, they won't be able to see any of the configurations or anything on there. They really only have rights to just add devices and deregister devices for you. And under resellers, you've got your organization ID, your customer ID. That's a really important one for you to know as well, or at least know where to find that. So we talked about your reseller needs to know the configuration ID that you want your devices enrolled into. They're also going to need to know the organization or your customer ID, because that tells Google when we're enrolling devices for you what Zero-Touch portal need to be added to. So that is an important ID for your reseller to know, and when you are working with that reseller, make sure you send them that customer ID as well. They're going to need to know that. Additionally, if you have any active resellers, approved resellers on here, they'll show up here. When your reseller initially creates your portal, they'll become an active reseller. If you need to add any additional resellers, it's fairly easy. Just go in here and hit enroll. I usually do a nice Command F or Control F to kind of search for text. This finds it a little bit easier than trying to scroll through things, but just a little pro tip there. But it's fairly easy. Just find the reseller and hit enroll, and that's really it. Not too much there as far as adding additional resellers to your portal. And then I mentioned earlier the CSV file that a reseller typically uses when enrolling devices into a customer portals. This is that CSV file. Again, I'll link this into the show notes. It'll be linked inside of my Android Zero-Touch guide. So take a look in there, and there'll be a link to this specific file. But this is something that we follow. So whenever you're sending us devices, we're going to either need the MEID or the serial of that device, and then we're also going to need the model and the manufacturer, and then this profile line ID. Those are those two key factors that I talked about earlier, your configuration ID as well, and then your organization, your customer ID. Those are really two important factors here, two important things that your reseller will need in order to properly enroll your devices. Also, one additional thing that I'll point out is when you are having your reseller enroll devices for you, especially if they're devices that you already have and you just want to get enrolled back in and you're not purchasing that new. If it is a Wi-Fi only device, something like a Zebra TC52 or something like that, we need the serial of that device. If it is a cellular device like a Pixel or a Motorola or a device that has a cellular modem, we're going to need the IMEI of that device. So those are really two important key factors that you'll need to give when you're working with a reseller. So that's my walkthrough of the Android Zero-Touch portal. I hope that was valuable for you guys, and I hope that helps you along your journey of management of Android device, as well as using these tools like Android Zero-Touch to help you streamline the enrollment and provisioning of those devices. Again, thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. It really encourages me to know that, you know, I'm making valuable content for you guys. And then please comment if there's other things that you want to see. If you want to take any more deep dives in here, please let me know. Things that I have on the agenda. I'm looking at a couple review units for some iPhone cases and sleds that are more using the enterprise. I'm also going to walk through the volume purchasing program with an Apple and Apple Business Manager. So I got some key things on the agenda that hopefully will be out soon for you guys. But again, thanks for watching the video and have an awesome day.